When you find yourself fishing over lakebed debris, like low-lying silkweed, really deep silt, that sort of stuff, it does pay to use something that will allow your bait to pop up off the bottom. So I'll quite often opt for a hinge stiff rig or a chod rig. So I'm going to show you how to tie the chod rig now. Now this rig has to be used on a helicopter system, whether that's on lead core, one of the tungsten leaders, or a naked choddy on monofilament. I've caught loads of fish using the chod rig, so I'm going to show you how to tie it now. First things first, you will need some Stiffy material. Now this is very, very good for forming curves. It's very, very stiff, absolutely ideal for chod rigs. So take a length of that. You only need a short length, just enough to work with. Obviously depends on how long you want your chod rig as well. I generally like to fish it maybe an inch, 2 inches, depends on what you're fishing over. Sort of, I might lengthen it from over slightly higher weed. Anyway, take your length of Stiffy material. Next you'll need your hook. My choice is a size 5 Ape-X chod hook. Ultra sharp, straight pointed, and an outturned eye, which is crucial for a chod rig presentation. Take the Stiffy material, poke it through the eye of the hook. Now one thing I like to make sure is that I'm tying it with the natural curve of the material. Just makes things a whole lot easier and it sits a whole lot nicer. So pop the tag through the eye. Now I whip down 4 to 5 turns. That's 5 turns now, and it's just a normal, simple, knotless knot. Go back through the eye of the hook, like so. Just see that curve forming there. But that's what you'll have now. You'll be left with a little tag like that, of which I'm going to place a bait screw onto. Get me a little bait screw. This is obviously what you mount your bait on, your pop-up on. This is an out and out pop-up rig really. Place the screw on, then the tag needs to go back through the eye of the hook, like so. This just forms a nice neat D, as you can see there. Then I trim that tag end, trim the tag end, and then whilst holding the chod material in your fingers, be very, very careful not to burn your main bit of filament. You burn that D down. Just blob it a little bit there and then push it so it can't go back through. So basically you're just blobbing the material so it can't go back through the eye of the hook. Now that's looking very, very neat and tidy. Now, as I said, it's up to you, completely up to you what length chod rig you use. I like to use them fairly shorter than the norm probably. So just going to form a little bit of the curve in it so it's easy to work with. Right, just chop that down. So measure the length of chod you want, and then we're just going to tie a simple 2 to 3 turn blood knot. Now believe it or not, that is more than strong enough for this material because it's so thick. I like to moisten the knot always, just so that it beds down nicely. Take the tag back through the loop. And being very careful, pull the knot down nice and tightly. I then like to add a couple of multi-tools just to pull the knot down on, get it bedding down nicely. The key here is not to do it too quickly, just ease that knot down nice and slowly. You can manipulate it and pull it down with your fingers as well, just that it doesn't score the line. Slowly but surely, that blood knot will bed down nicely. Now at the moment the hook length is nice and straight because you pulled it nice and tightly using the tools. So take it off of the tool, look at that, you've got it bolt upright, which makes it far, far easier to then curve. I'll just trim the tag end. I do like to blob it as well. If you're ultra paranoid about the blood not being strong enough, but trust me it is, then you can always super glue that knot just to be ultra sure if you're really needing to give them some stick, but generally it's been fine for me. So now you need to form the curve. So just using your fingers, just gently start encouraging the material round into a nice curve, and this will just make it a bit more aggressive on the rig and encourage it to catch more into that bottom lip. As you can see, I'm starting to really work that now, and it's forming a lovely little curve. So there you go, that is the Chod rig. If my pop-ups are ultra buoyant, I will roll a tiny little bit of putty around the knot if you need to, but generally if you're using lead core or whatever, you won't need that. So yeah, that's a beautiful little curve in that one. Look at the way that can spin. I think I might have to put that one in my rig box. For more information on the new Connexion products, take a look at the RidgeMonkey website or head down to your local stockist.